Welcome to our weekly journey, living and serving with our Brahmin family. Welcome, dear angel brother Ken.
Dear Sister Bhumi Om Shanti Didi, we so much appreciate the amount of effort you make for us. It's really good to see you from Shantiban every day transmitting. I was thinking of what Bab Dada said in the extract just before Didi came on, in which he was talking about self-sovereignty and the fact that we are Raj Yogis and therefore we have to be self-sovereigns. We have to be masters of the self. And he positioned that as being uninfluenced by the physical senses, even uninfluenced by anyone else. Even there, and I'd like to bring up here because it came up in the homework, when we got attention on physical things and we really stopped being victorious. And what is it in us that helps us to be victorious? And Didi shared about how Brahma Baba was a great leader and how he was coming from a very deep state in order to help others. And Didi gave some examples how he, through drishti, would give determination, give love to the souls, or he would indicate them to go to Mama. And of course, Mama was already instructed that she had to remind people of Baba, how to remind people of the soul and also karmic accounts. And in other words, the response to people, whatever their behavior is, in fact, however they are behaving, we have to respond with love, with patience, with sweetness. I love this idea of being royal and simple about the way we do things. And this, the homework for tomorrow, is very interesting because it's exactly around the topic that I wanted to share today. I hadn't seen it before today. I'm still quite busy here in the middle of retreats. Today was with the Brahmin soul, so this is lovely to see everyone. But this thing of having our nature according to specialities, and that means according to a deeper state, according to our qualities, our deep qualities. And it is ridiculous to say that we don't have specialities because we have within us love, peace, happiness, purity and truth. We have those qualities. What we don't have maybe is power to bring them out. And that's where Baba comes in. Our connection with Baba helps us to bring out the best in us. But while we're interacting with others, we can get easily fooled by their present personalities. Rather, our consciousness, in a way, controls the sanskars, isn't it? That's what Baba says. That's what the understanding of the soul tells us. If we are soul conscious, we are easily able to access our specialities, our deeper qualities, and bring them out and into our personality, make our personality, which is rather superficial because it's sort of our contact with the world, make our personality shine. And of course, if there's no depth, there's no connection with the deep soul, there's no connection with Baba, what's going to come out are just the surface sort of characteristics. And we do get sort of involved in relationships through our personalities. Our behavior and our personalities are like, and they go side by side. And if our personality is being controlled by our old body conscious self, if we are locked in body consciousness, in other words, then we will be interacting through whatever filters I've developed over time. So I want to share with you some slides here just to make it clearer. And this is really quite an interesting part of our Dharana-based leadership program. We talk about the different qualities that we have. So here we are. Wait a minute. Yeah, here we are. Sorry about that. We have, as I was saying yesterday, the whole idea of having qualities. I use the analogy of the primary colors. So you can see in the middle here, the middle triangle, the three main primary colors, blue, red, and yellow. And if you mix red and yellow, you get orange. If you mix red and blue, you get purple. If you mix blue and yellow, you get green. And then you start to have other subcolors, and then you other mixes and other mixes. There are 16 million colors actually that have been identified, but actually starting off with just a few. So we have these qualities. We all have specialities. We all have these original qualities that have become inactive, and they are buried by body consciousness. We need to remember Baba to bring them out and bring them, to the surface so that we can produce a sort of a virtuous state. Otherwise, look what happens. We have these original qualities, as I just said, which are those, peace, love, happiness, purity, truth, and so on. That's our foundation. And it's through soul consciousness and contact with Baba, as he tells us, that we're able to go inside, bring them out, and put them into practice in the world. This bottom arrow here, instead of me reacting from this surface, and the surface would be the active sanskars, which we could say are the personality, we start to interact with people, as our homework tells us, from our specialities, and that becomes our nature. Instead of this becoming our nature, our behavior, our body conscious behavior is also becomes natural. Let's use that word in inverted commas. But our real deep nature is the original qualities. And so what happens? We have to interact with people. And I've used this analogy here. I just use the analogy of colors. Now I'm going to use the analogy of the 5 elements. Some of us, over time, we've developed different inclinations. Some of us have a personality like Earth. We are very firm, we are very solid, we are very practical, we are concerned with results. We want things to happen, we want to do things. We are doers, doers, doers when we are dominated by this particular characteristic. We may be fire type people. That means we have a predominance of creativity. We're inspired, we're full of ideas, sometimes too many ideas. We are intuitive, and we are humorous also, sort of lightening up the world in a way. Or we have a nature that's sort of soft and loving, loyal, a donor type, concerned about the harmony in relationships. And that could be a water predominance. And we can have it be an air type personality, logical and analytical. We analyze things, we plan things, we are organized, we're concerned with the processes. So most of us will have one or the other of these things dominating the others. Not always. There are many people who have a balance between these characteristics. And when they are positive, they are great. You can't say in the same way that to grow a plant, you need all of those elements. You need the earth, you need the air, you need the fire, the heat, and the light, and you need the water for anything to grow. And there's a 5th element, which is ether, according to the ancients. Ether doesn't really have any substance, but it holds everything together. So ether would be a more spiritual type of element that that it sort of permeates. It's in everything, in fact. It's when I'm more subtle, I'm more spiritual, I'm soul conscious, I have a bigger vision of the whole picture, I'm wise and so on. So just think about it. Who do you think, what's your main personality characteristic? And let's just look at the negative side of all of this, because just as these qualities, when they're being fed by deep specialities, the practical type of person becomes really practical, very useful in service, he's the one that gets things done, you know. So if that getting things done is just a Lockic sort of personality, it's not useful because it'll be aggressive. But if it is spiritual, if it is being backed up by our specialities, our deep nature, then being a practical sort of person, a pragmatic sort of person who really gets things done is a good thing. It's really good. But it's also not enough. You need also other people who plan, who are logical. You need the planners, not just the doers. So you've got these air type people who are the planners, and they are, you know, just helping get the processes organized. To organize Avyakti Parivar, I imagine you've got the ones who actually put things into practice, but you've also got the people who sit down and work out all of the processes. All of the IT people have a lot of air, let's say. And if you're a fire type people, it's very good to be around because they're always bright and, you know, humorous, as Bob was saying, or Didi was saying. But a fire type person, a negative side, is very impulsive, very easily distracted. You can't sit them down. They can't stay in a meeting. They get up and go out. So what sort of person are you? Are you a water type person? Because the downside of that is you are quite undecided, you are hesitant, you are very sensitive. Water, you know, you're easily crying. But if you're a water, soft, loving, sweet sort of person, and that's backed up by deep specialities in our nature, our true nature, then that's a good thing. All of these qualities are good. And if you're just logically analyzing everything, you're very intellectual, you can easily become arrogant, critical of people. So each of these elements have their downside. And what we have to do is if we have this set of personality traits, and they have been developed over many births, it's not just this birth. If you look at you get 20 Brahmins together and you ask them, they'll be all different personality-wise. Some will prefer softness, some will prefer practical things, some will prefer, no, let's have a process, let's organize things. Someone like to organize, someone like to do, someone like to keep the harmony, and someone has to create the ideas. So we need all of these things. So it's the spiritual part, the ether, which holds everything together. So I'm just using this analogy. You can see in this beautiful picture that it's in the middle. So our specialities, our deep specialities, they have to help us to compensate for, let's say, too much of one element. And they have to help us spiritualize what we are good at and, you know, eliminate or at least diminish the downside of our personalities. So it's very interesting that if you're going to get a team of people together, it's good if you have a balance between practical earth-type people, creative fire-type people, thinking and organized air-type people, and soft and loving water-type people. So if you have them all, you'll be able to have a very, very good team. In fact, there's a whole game of personalities that helps us to have. It's the difference between having a good team and a bad team. So these are some of the things that we were sharing in the Dharana-based leadership, looking at the sanskars which are active now and how to go deep and make sure that our specialities are making our personalities much, much more balanced and useful. So let's have some meditation. It's really quite fascinating, the whole topic of getting along with others. It means getting along and recognizing their strengths and also weaknesses, taking into account the weaknesses, but not making a big deal out of them, helping them to also become more spiritual, as Mama used to do, reminding people of their soul, with the soul and God and the karmic aspects of life, help people to become better at what they're good at. And of course, eliminate all of the downside of what our personalities may create. So let's have some meditation now. Om Shanti, everyone.